One. Oh, okay. I think we are live. What I'm going to do is just check as well if we are live. So if anyone is here, obviously listening to this, just put a comment down below to say, hey, who you are and your name. Obviously, then we'll know we're live. That'd be really greatly appreciated. But obviously, if you don't know today, I'm joined by none other than Emma Louise Hamilton. Oh my God, I'm excited. Thank you, Emma. Honestly, really lovely. Now, before we jump in, Emma, obviously, you were literally kind of like, it was a bit of a last minute Larry operation to get here, wasn't it? What was the situation? Tell us.
Well, so the last sort of 5 minutes have been hectic, but luckily I made it here on time and I'm on the line. So basically, in the UK at the moment, you probably won't know, but especially in Birmingham, there's a snowstorm, so the roads are icy. I was driving here, and so I had to be extra careful, but luckily it all worked out in the end.
Oh my God! And you said there's a snowstorm. Oh my God! Like, is it laying? How deep is it? What's the situation?
I'd say at the moment it's like a blizzard, so there's like lots of snow coming down. So as you're driving, you need your wipers to like avoid the snow. It's not thick at the moment. However, in the last sort of 3 or 4 days, it was quite thick, enough to like build a snowman if you wanted to. So we're definitely getting it in Birmingham.
I honestly, I think that's amazing. I've always lived in like Southampton and London, and it's never really snowed properly. Like the snow's always been like tiny, then it disappears, or just sludge. But obviously, you get proper snowman snow. Yeah. I miss that. Yeah, fantastic. So obviously, well, thank you very much for getting here on time, and obviously, well done for driving safely enough that you didn't have any accidents. That's really good. Obviously, what I will say is, if anyone's just joining the live today, just say hello down below, drop it in the comments. Obviously, drop your name and drop where you're coming from. That's really appreciated. Now, what I will say is, Emma, thank you so much for joining us. It's really nice, obviously, to have you here and obviously to share. Obviously, I've been following your journey for a long time, and it's been a while since you've been on YouTube. And obviously, I met you last year, which was fantastic. So obviously, today you're going to be talking about getting started with the VA, that whole journey. We're going to talk about that and learn, obviously, from your experience. So what I will just say is, obviously, just mention it down below. We'll just give a few more minutes for anyone to start. And obviously, we'll give a few more minutes for people to join, and then we'll get started into this. So Emma, if you don't mind me asking, how is life in the UK at the moment? Fortunately, I managed to get out just before the whole lockdown, but what's the situation at the moment?
So I'd say the situation in the UK at the moment, apparently we're in like, say, a full lockdown. Apparently where I am, it's tier 5. If I'm truly honest, I don't really listen to the news, so I'm not sure what each tier means. So I'm doing as I usually do, sort of keeping myself to myself, running my business. So from my perspective, I don't think much has changed. I know some shops are closed and that sort of thing, mainly like clothes stores. But all in all, I'd say it's the same. You just can't really eat out, which I like doing. Like I can't go to like nice restaurants. I can't get any juicy steaks like we had last time.
If you don't know, everyone, when I went and met Emma last time, obviously I came to Birmingham, and that was like between the lockdowns. That was really lucky. I was like, okay, Emma, what do you like to eat? We'll go for some food. And she was like, oh, I really like steak. And I was like, okay, how much do you like steak? She's like, I really, really love steak. And I was like, okay, how many steaks have you been in the last week? She's like, 3 steaks I've been for in the last week. I was like, wow. That's a lot of steak. So honestly, I'm feeling for you. You've been missing out on your steak, haven't you?
Yeah, I've been missing out. But I've been having takeaways, and I recently heard about a service that actually delivers food to you as well. And you just pop it in the oven, like freshly made, organic, grass-fed. So I'm going to check that out as well. And it might be a bit more healthier than eating takeouts.
Definitely. Obviously, that's the thing. It's like everyone's like, what's it? I see all the pictures of like the COVID body, everyone's stuck inside. Like, I'm going to do the gym, but no, they just eat.
Definitely, piling on the pounds.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Okay. So if you're just going to go through, we've got quite a few people who pop their names in. So obviously, if you don't know, we're using StreamYard. So if you're on like Facebook, because we're doing this both on Facebook and YouTube, be sure just to accept StreamYard. It allows us to see your name. So Simon said hi. We got a What Up Gangsters. Love that. Evening. Hi, Tom. Aaron from sunny Tunbridge Wells. If you want to know, I'm in Mexico, Cancun right now, and it's overcast and it's about to start raining. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not raining here. We've got someone saying hello, you beautiful people. Obviously, hello back to you, beautiful people, as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Right, okay, we've got hey guys on both Facebook groups. Fantastic. Also use FBA Lead, brilliant at the VA service in the future. Fantastic. Honestly, thank you so much. Hello, Emma Allison.
Hi, Alison.
Yeah, honestly, lots of thank yous. Honestly, I can't pronounce that name. Anobi, and I'm really bad at pronouncing names. I don't know if you can see Emma as well. Got a hey.
I can't see the names, only the people who've signed up to StreamYard. So I can see Erican, Alison, hey Alison, Sean McLean, and the rest say like Facebook user. I can see Simon Hesse. Hi Simon. So there's quite a few people on that I can see.
Fantastic. Hey, really, really good. So I think, look, we won't waste any more of your time talking about the likes of COVID, the weather and juicy steaks. We will jump into this. So first things first, if anyone doesn't know who we are, and I'm sure you probably will, if you're in our group or in our YouTube channel, I think it's really good just to kind of introduce ourselves. So hopefully you probably know who I am, because obviously I run Fast Track FBA. But if you don't know who Emma is, Emma, do you just want to introduce yourself and say a little bit about who you are?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Emma Louise Hamilton. I'm an Amazon seller. I also have a YouTube channel, which I upload videos to sometimes, but not all the time. I need to get better at that. I've got a Facebook group as well, the Amazon Dream. And yeah, so it's me running my business, doing a bit of social media. So you might have seen me around, and that's me.
Fantastic. And hey, honestly, if you think that I do a lot of YouTube videos and a lot on my Facebook, it's nothing in comparison to Emma. Emma's like 6,000 subscribers, talking about so much, and obviously probably one of the biggest Facebook groups in the UK. Like really, really impressive stuff. And the one thing I really love about Emma is she's so genuine about how, what she puts across and how she comes across, and also her journey. And I love that. I just, the amount of like videos I've seen of you like in Dunelm, like, hey guys, today I'm selling this stuff.
Cringe now looking back.
No, it's brilliant. It's honestly brilliant.
It is part of the journey.
It is, and hey, we're all living it. We're all part of that journey. So honestly, for me and everyone watching, first things first, thank you very much for everything you've shared so far, on your Facebook group and on YouTube, and obviously all the ways you share it. But I think also as well, thank you very much for coming on here today. I know lives can be quite nerve-wracking, so I really appreciate that, and hopefully it's going to be a really nice experience. So thank you so much for coming in and sharing. I think, from me and everyone else, honestly, thank you so much.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. And thank you for giving me this opportunity as well to push myself out of my comfort zone and do lives. Because lives aren't something that I usually do. So it's opening me up to something new too. So looking forward to it.
Cool, honestly, fantastic. Okay, so I think one of the first questions I'd kind of ask to you and anyone starting, I mean, today we're talking very much about getting started with a VA, looking through that whole journey. But before we kind of get into the VA, can you give us a little bit of background on your Amazon business before you even started thinking about a VA? Like, what was it like? How long have you been trading? What have you been doing? Tell us about that whole process. Give us a backstory.
Yeah, so in terms of my Amazon business, before the virtual assistant, I've mainly been doing like online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, and lately bits of wholesale. Up until that point, I've done all the sourcing myself in the business. So everything from day one, I've sourced myself through deal sheets, manual sourcing, and sourcing software and sourcing services. So that's how ordinarily the deals got into the business. And really, I thought the business was getting to a stage now where we're like a six-figure business, and I was thinking I want to expand and do different things on Amazon. And if I'm always sourcing traditionally, that's going to take up a lot of time. So that's when I started to think about a VA, and that's when I sort of reached out to yourself.
Okay, fantastic. So, if I kind of clarify what that was like, so, and can I ask, do you do? I kind of know the answer, but let's just make it clear. Do you do Amazon full time, or is it a part time? Do you have a job as well? What's the situation?
Okay, yeah. So I do Amazon full time. I don't have like an employer or anything. I'm my own boss. I employ myself. And that's like super exciting. Comes with its challenges, highs and lows, but I love it. I wouldn't change for the world. So Amazon is my main form of income, along with social media too. So it's full time. It's a full time gig with the Amazon business. And I should also say, if we're going to talk about the background into how I'm set up currently, is that So I have some family members working in the business. So my mum sort of leads me from the top in terms of like prep and that sort of thing. And in terms of sourcing, that's been my role in the business up until the VA. And that's how we sort of function on an operational level.
Cool. And if you don't mind me asking, so that's currently, before you hired the VA, was that the same situation or was it different?
I'd say before we hired the VA, it was the same situation. However, now in the current situation, I'm probably doing a bit less sourcing than I was doing before, because basically I was just like sourcing most of the time, finding products, you know, replenishing them. It was taking up most of my time. And actually, I think the last sourcing session I did by myself, it was like a 7-hour marathon sourcing session. And at the end of it, I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. It's time to get someone on board. But I used to love sourcing, which is sort of why I kept it on so long. Because I know everyone has their own different ways of running their Amazon business. But for me, I didn't really want to let go of the sourcing until it became obvious that it was sort of holding me back a little bit in terms of progressing.
Cool. Okay. And if you don't mind asking, I think the question I kind of asked is like, you said you were doing marathon sourcing sessions. Like, you know, how much time would you spend sourcing, like as a typical, you know, situation?
So I can say probably I'd spend maybe the whole day sourcing sometimes. And if I'm truly honest, it was also a way of distracting myself from doing other things. I was like, oh yeah, I'm busy sourcing, so that can wait. So in a way, it was like a distraction tactic. And so I had to get out of the habit of sourcing and sourcing all day. And so I'd source most of the time, because as I mentioned, that was really my role in the business, to bring in products to ultimately sell.
Yeah. Hey, do you know what's really funny there? You said the word, and it's so common. I hear it with everyone. It's like, sourcing is a distraction tactic. It's like, you know what you need to do. You need to go and find products to sell. Fine, not a problem. But it's like we just get so stuck in that one process that you know, we just get lost in it. And how, if you know what I'm saying, how long had you been doing that before starting a VA? How long have you been running your business?
I'd say for like a couple of years now.
Okay, so quite some time. And how long full time, may I ask?
I think it was, you're asking me now, I think it was like 2000 and the beginning of probably 2020, end of 19, somewhere around there.
Okay, fine, fantastic. Okay, that's good. So, and I agree with you. I've seen it, and hey, I've been there myself. You just spend your days non-stop sourcing. Okay, good. So you've got your mum; she's doing the prep, and hey, I love that. I know we've had conversations about East, and obviously I've been to your warehouse. I've seen that as well. She's doing the prep. Great house sourcing there. Love that. And then also as well, you're in the sourcing side. That's where you're adding value to your business. You're growing. So that's a little bit of background. So just bring us on. What I will say is, if anyone's got any questions as we're talking, just drop them in the comments down below. We'll come back to that at the end and do a Q&A. So we will go back through, just ask them in the comments down below. So obviously that is a little bit of background of your business. Now, what changed? Why did you think about a VA? What was the reason behind that?
Okay, that's a really good question. And I would say what changed is that my own aspirations for the business and maybe myself have changed somewhat. Because when you first start a business, ultimately you probably do everything yourself in order to like grow and expand as quickly as you can. So I'd say the main thing that changed is that my business got to a level now where I felt like it's okay to bring someone additional into the mix without like messing up the systems too much. And I felt like it was at a stage where I could take that time to really nurture someone so that they can bring full benefits to the business. Additionally, as I mentioned, this year there are other things I want to do on Amazon, such as create custom listings and do some branding around that. So I thought if I got a VA on board, that would free up some of my time to work on creating other things and other income streams on Amazon, which if I'm sourcing all day, I don't really have the opportunity. So I think that was the main reason.
Okay, and so if I just clarify, and correct me if I'm wrong, you've been sourcing for quite some time. Obviously, you've been going successfully. You said you're a six-figure business. You've got your mum employed, you know, working at that. That process is working. Obviously, you've got your warehouse and everything there. And I know from your journey, you've grown and grown and grown, which has been fantastic. And obviously, all the, hey, I'm in Dunelm doing this and finding those products. But for you, it got to a point whereby you kind of said one day, this isn't enough. I want to change. I want to do something different now. And you talked about like doing custom bundles, doing branding around, doing custom listings. Why did it change, may I ask? You said you wanted to do more, but what was the reason? You had something which was working.
I think it's about growth. Yeah, I could have stayed the same, but you want to challenge yourself, and I really felt like it was time to like challenge myself and take that next step. Yeah, you can always sort of stay where you are, but you need to like push the boundaries and reach your full potential. And if I'm always sourcing, then I'm never going to reach. Well, I cannot say never, but I'm going to be missing. There's going to be missed opportunities. That if I have another person on board, then now the whole possibilities expand in terms of what you can do.
Hey, and really interesting. And you said it at the very beginning of this call. Thank you very much for inviting me onto the live. I don't normally do them. It gets me out of my comfort zone. And then also, I just reiterate back to your point where you said sourcing was a distraction tactic. It was just, it's your comfort zone. You've learned to a certain level, then you do it, and you're pretty good at it, and you keep going. But you kind of said, no, I need to do more. I need to become uncomfortable again, get out and do custom bundles, something else. So it's that growth stage. You're like, I need to grow. I need to challenge myself. Okay, interesting. Go on.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I just had the urge that I really wanted to do more, but I couldn't. So it was sort of like there was friction there. And so when there's friction there, I try to use my intuition and listen to it and try and find a way around it. So yeah, definitely.
Oh my God, I love that. I love that. And I always talk to people about it. It's like your gut. When something's a bit easy and you're a bit like, something's telling you something's not right, and you're like, I need to change. Okay, so you had that intuition, you had that gut feeling, something's got to change, I want to do more. Why, when you were looking, so can I ask, did you know you needed a VA, or how did that decision come around? Why not hire another family member? Is it my asking?
Wow. So why not have another family member to do the sourcing?
Yeah, why not? Obviously you'd already hired one. So.
Yeah, so I'd say for me, it is a family business. However, I think I have to look at skill set and also what people want to do. And if I'm honest, there's nobody in my network who wanted to do the sourcing element of it. And also, I thought it'd be more beneficial to get a sourcing VA on board because obviously, one, if you're hiring from the Philippines or outside of the UK, it's going to be cheaper. So you can get more bang for your buck, essentially. And two, ultimately, I don't want to be in the business all the time. And I feel like if I hired a family member to do the sourcing, I would have had to train them, I would have had to, I still need to like help now, but I just feel like there would have been more responsibility on me. And whereas I'm trying to now be more hands off. And as I mentioned before, I think when you're running a business, your aspirations change. So when I first started, I was happy to do everything. Whereas now my vision for my own business and myself has changed to the point where now it's time to like get external people on board to help us to grow, expand, and do it in the most efficient and effective way.
Yeah, hey, I really agree. And what's it called? My God, when I first started, it's like, right, I'm going to do it myself. I'm going to make software. I'm going to make it happen. But the most interesting thing was the case that it was like, as you grow, your knowledge improves, everything gets better. And my God, I don't know what the future holds, and I didn't know when I first started, and I didn't see where Amazon went. And hey, like same as you and me, we've done other things. We've diversified still within Amazon, but like into YouTube, doing other areas. And I think the question is that as you grow through your business, your aspirations change, exactly like what you said. And I think that's really important. And and it's nice that you've identified that. And then I think what's really good is the fact that you said, what am I going to do about it? How am I going to change this aspirational thing? Okay. So thank you. So obviously you did look at a VA. Now, if you don't mind me asking, obviously, and I'm not going to lie, I'll be very open and honest with everyone. One of the reasons why I asked Emma to join today was quite simply is she is a customer of the Fast Track FBA VA Academy. She has hired a VA through us, and and I'm just going to ask Emma, I don't think I've paid you. I don't think I haven't paid you to be on here, nor have I given her any discount or anything. If I'm right, I've not given you any discount at all or anything for the VA Academy to do.
Give me no discount or anything. And so I pay for it all myself. And I can see, you know, so I pay for it all myself, definitely. You give me no sort of special benefits. It was just the stage of the business where it was time to like ultimately hire a VA to help us expand and grow bigger.
Yeah. So the reason why I've asked Emma to join me today on this webinar, quite simply, is the fact that Emma's just started that journey, and so many other people are thinking about getting a VA or doing that. So what I'm not so interested in right now is to talk about someone who's maybe had a VA for a whole year, is about what does those first couple of months look like. And Emma, you are doing that right now. So hence why I'm really interested. So, and you know, thank you, honestly, genuinely, from me to you and everyone watching, thank you so much for sharing. And hence why this is called Getting Started with the VA, not how to run a VA for 10 years or whatever, or you know, grow it like me. I've got like 30 VAs, which is like insane. So question for you, and everyone might be asking this, is, you know, you did come to Fast Track FBA Academy, but why didn't you do it on your own? What was the reason for that? And you can do, obviously that's how I did it to start with.
Yeah, definitely. I'd say the main reason that I came to like Fast Track FBA is because a few reasons really. So firstly, timing. Obviously, if I hired a virtual assistant through yourself, they would have the like foundational knowledge and to sort of get started immediately without taking more time for myself in order to like train the virtual assistant up. And additionally, obviously, I've heard good things about the Fast Track Academy. Obviously, in the groups, you're always hearing people say, I got my VA from Thomas and that sort of thing. So for me, it was like, obviously, it comes at a price, which is fine. So I was happy to pay for that service in order to get a VA who has the foundational knowledge to start sourcing, and that we can hit the ground running instead of me having to like train a virtual assistant up from scratch.
Yeah, and I think that's a really interesting point. You know, I've done it before, and I've seen lots of other people done it. And it's, you know, it's a lot of work. And at the end of the day, it's a whole new skill set you've got to learn: recruitment, training, development of a team member. And you know, it's thank you very much for choosing us. So let me ask you a quick question. You know, that's kind of answering the question: why did you choose us? What was the reason? You talked about changing, you know, it's time, effort, and just having the expertise. And ultimately, you said you've heard some good experience from us. So, you know, now that you've gone through that whole journey, you know, if you don't mind me asking, what was it like, you know, working with us in the Fast Track Academy? How was it? You know, tell about that story.
Well, if I'm truly honest, I will say,
where did we go wrong?
That I was blown away with the service. Like, I feel as though your guys were keeping me accountable, like, which is really good because, you know, yeah, I'm a business owner, but maybe I'm not always on it. So they were, one, keeping me accountable, which I really liked. And I'd say this, from the minute that I signed up through the website to even now, Fast Track FBA provided support to my VA still and also to myself. And the process, I can just say it was impeccable. So obviously your colleague Anne, she had my information. She actually done the hiring of the virtual assistant. And then so I received the virtual assistant CV. And when I looked at the CV, I was, all I can say is I was blown away, like with her previous experience. So she'd had experience managerial in a retail setting. So that was really like positive for me. And from the outset, I thought, yeah, I've done the right thing by going to Fast Track, in that, you know, you've hired someone who has experience, to know all about profit and loss already and that sort of thing, and it can be an asset to the business. Additionally, I'm not sure how much I can divulge.
Just say everything, honestly. There's nothing to hide, honestly.
Obviously, you do like personality testing too, which I found was really good because I was able to get like an insight into how my virtual assistant works and like her personality type. And as I've been working with her, I've realised that she's very similar thinking to me, which I think is like a stroke of genius. Seriously, like she's making decisions that I would make, coming up with suggestions that I'd come up with previously but not implemented. And again, there's someone there ultimately that is going to hold me to account in that. She's coming up with ideas now. So for me to make it effective, I need to implement what she's putting forward and use her skills to the full ability. And what else can I say? Another big thing I would say is that recently there's been some issues with some of the tools out there. I think Amazon stopped sharing some data for a few days in terms of competition analysis, I think it was. So obviously my VA gets due in the night when I'm sleeping. So if I hired that VA myself, she would have had nowhere to seek guidance from in terms of how to move forward. Because I hired her through the academy, she was able that night to reach out to your team who gave it a workaround. So just little things like that. When you employ someone through an academy, you have the support there, the assistant as well. So it's all these little things you think about. Yeah, I could have hired someone myself to train them up. It would have been time, it would have been resources. When little things like this happen, it would have been really deterred. You would have had to wait until like 8 a.m. UK time. So a whole day would have been wasted. So I'd say it's just really efficient, and it's an efficient service, and it's in a way, I don't know, making me want to push myself more, seeing the service that you're providing. I think it's amazing, to be honest. I can't really say anything else about it.
Thank you. Honestly, from me to you, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And do you know what the really funny thing was for you is I think you gave us a glowing review on your Facebook. You said you really enjoyed it, and the really nice thing was I had zero involvement with the team throughout the whole of that. I didn't say, hey, this is Emma, she's some kind of big YouTube star, please give her a thing. No, they just do the process. So that was really nice to see. And I think the big part of it is to say that for you, it's about providing support. At the end of the day, if your business grows with our service, you're going to come back. That's what we want. We want you to come back and use our service again. So hopefully you've seen that in the service we provided. And for me and anyone watching, thank you for sharing that. That's really good of you. So it's been a good experience. Now, obviously, how long has the VA been with you so far? How long have you had them on site?
I'd say the VA has been with me for, is it about a month? Okay. Just over a month, something like that.
Okay. And just share, what kind of things have you done with the VA to help you get the VA on board? What kind of, what are the processes that you've done that's really supported building that relationship?
Yeah, so in terms of the virtual assistant, what I've really done is we've done so we do some videos together, so she can see who I am and how I act, and you can just build a better relationship when you do video. So that's been really good, finding out more about her and her life too, and also giving feedback via video too. It not only helps be faster, but she can ask any questions live if she's got them. And in terms of also supporting her, I review the deals. So when she delivers deals, I review and tell her what I like, what I don't, and how we can move forward. And something else that we've implemented recently is that I'm getting her to, as she's finding the deals, suggest a purchase quantity, because ultimately I want her to do the purchasing too. And as I said before, she's similar thinking to me. So I'd say 8 out of 10 is how I would purchase the deals. So that's a really good sign. And I'd say that's where we are now. I'm confident in her ability to find deals. And now I'm confident in her ability to suggest purchase quantity. So the next stage really is to get her to start buying those deals.
Yeah, hey, and that's really interesting. And I think the big point is always to think about, I talk about with clients all day long, it's about getting your VAs aligned with your thinking. So £3 profit, 30% ROI, 5 sales a month. That's a nice number, but there's still so many nuances to it. I wouldn't buy that because, or I would buy that because, there might be around it. So when you're saying I want, out of the 10 deals she submits, I'm buying 8 of them. That's about how close are you aligned, and I think that's really, really good. So, honestly, well done. If you don't mind me asking, let's be honest. What are the problems that you face? What are the challenges you faced over the last month, or maybe you haven't? I'm always interested. It's not all roses. We do have challenges. Emma hasn't. I haven't told Emma about this question. She's like,
I'd say, to be honest, in terms of challenges, I say there's not been that many. I would say the main one that I probably did face is initially reviewing the deals and giving her feedback via email, which took probably a bit longer than it should have. So I've now adapted and giving feedback via video. So that's just going to speed it up. And in terms of other challenges, to be honest, I can't really say there's been that many. I just think you need time to nurture that person. So if you've got time to nurture them, obviously you need to review the deals they're giving to you. Then from my point of view, I think that's the main thing. So when I think of challenges, I can't think of any. Or it could be that when challenges arise, that I find a solution, so I don't see them as challenges. That could be it. But I haven't faced any major challenges so far.
Okay, fantastic. And hey, I think we all get them, and I think you mentioned it whereby you're writing emails, and that's a really common one actually. People are giving written feedback. It takes so long. It's just like, don't do it. Just get on a call, do a video. It's so much quicker, so much easier, and also as well, it's verbal. You can listen to it. You can see what's going on. It's so much quicker. So honestly, well done for that. Question for you, Emma. That's what's happened that's what's happened now. What does the future hold? Tell me a bit about that.
Okay, so I'd say in terms of the future with Amazon, currently what I'm looking to do is, so we're at like a consistent level currently, and I'm wanting to bring the business to a point where I'm not actively involved, and I would say that I'm like 70-80% there. I feel like I'm 70-80% there. So now it's about doing that while remaining consistent, and then sort of troubleshooting any problems that may arise during that process. Because ultimately, like I mentioned, I want to like do some custom listings. I also want to like work on other income streams. So obviously doing YouTube again, which I sort of slow down on to focus on the Amazon business. And where it is now at the level that I need it to be, the main thing for me is focusing on consistency and running with minimal input for myself. So it's an income stream that's income, but not too much effort or time or energy, I guess, from myself personally.
Okay, fantastic. Hey, honestly, thank you so much. I think and it's really interesting that you want to should we say reduce your time down. That's a really common one. So many people talk about like, I want to just step back, I want to do other things, I want to improve my business, but it's like I don't want to be too much involved. And you talked about when you first started off, sourcing was a distraction tactic. That's where you spend all your time, and now you're like, actually no, I need to get out of this. And the funny thing, can I ask a question? Since hiring a sourcing VA, have you realized that actually maybe you don't need to be doing the sourcing all the time? How's your mindset changed?
I think that since hiring the sourcing VA, I just feel less pressure and overwhelmed. I'd say by thinking I want to do this, but I can't because I'm doing this. So it's given me more opportunities. And so what was the question again?
So the question is since hiring a sourcing VA, what's changed in the way you think about your business? So you said, you've done beforehand. It was like I'm doing sourcing all the time, distraction. But now, a lot of people think only I can do the sourcing. That's it. No one else can. But you said that the sourcing VA is helping you out, and a lot of people start to realize that actually, you don't have to. That isn't something that you have to do all the time.
Right. So I say like it's changing that I'm not like sourcing as much, and I think it also brings up, everyone's different, but it brings up things within yourself. Obviously, one thing for me was potentially before I thought no one can source like me, as I want it. But now I'm seeing that my VA has a similar mindset to me in terms of the deals and that sort of thing. So I'm seeing that actually it is sort of like replicating myself in a way. And I feel like my VA is that. And so I'm comfortable now in letting her do what she needs to do. And additionally, I say my mindset has changed in the fact of having confidence in letting someone else buy those deals. And I say one thing that really pushed that is that, so one evening, my VA did find some deals, and it was sort of a limited time deal. So it was for like one day only. And, by the time I got around to buying it, it was a case that the deal had just sort of finished. Like it was still showing on the website, but when I tried to check it, I missed it. So I thought, damn, I'm paying someone to source, and I've actually just lost out on a few deals because you can say a bit wary about letting someone purchase, but it's these things in business that you need to overcome. And when the time is right, I feel like that's when it happens. So maybe like 3 months ago, I was unwilling to let someone purchase deals, whereas now I see that it's a barrier to going forward because I'm missing out on deals. So now I'm like, come on, it's time to start purchasing deals, and she's fully on board, she's ready for the challenge, and she's excited for it too.
Yeah, hey, I really agree. I've had it so many times in my business where I've genuinely looked at my business and said the biggest problem in my business is me. My staff are finding me deals, and I had this in Thailand like 2 years ago. I was like, my staff are finding me deals, and I can't be bothered to buy them. I can't be bothered to wake up quick enough to do them. And I was like, you know what? I just like, here's a credit card, just make it happen. And that was like, that was a bit of a dangerous way, but we got through it. We learned how to do purchasing managers correctly, and I'm on my second purchasing manager now. I'm going to actually have my third, but really, really interesting. And I think what's really nice is that you've identified how your business runs. You've identified that there's an area that you can support someone. You've hired someone. You've got someone in your business who's really good. And you said you looked at a CV, and the amount of good staff you find in the Philippines are incredible. Like the skill set for what you're getting, value for money wise, is like, oh my god, like they're very talented. And like you said, they're on the same wavelength and they're good people. And then you're like, actually, after a month, you're like, wow, this is quite impressive. And they're only a month in. What's going to happen in 3 months, 6 months down the time? What's going to happen in a year? How important is that going to be?
Definitely. And I'll just add as well, obviously, when you mentioned, why didn't I source them myself? Another thing that has come up is that I could have sourced them myself. However, I think that your guys, correct me if I'm wrong, I've got expertise in hiring, and that really comes through from the CV I had, because I could have hired someone myself, but if I'm honest, I don't think they would have been at the caliber that Fast Track delivered to me. In terms of their past credentials, in terms of retail experience and, other skills that she brings. So, yeah.
Yeah, I really agree. And I'm not trying to sit here and like this whole webinar is about promoting Fast Track FBA, not at all. This is generally, honestly, about getting started with the VA, understanding that first month with you, why you did it and came around. But whether you do it, hire a VA through the Fast Track FBA Academy or do it yourself, if there's one bit of advice I would say is do not skimp on hiring the right person. That is, it doesn't matter training, it doesn't matter everything else. If you get the wrong person, it just doesn't work. So, I think very, very valuable there. Get the right person. Everything else is so much easier. And it sounds like obviously you're really happy with, the person you've got in your VA and the level that she's at.
Yeah, I'm like really happy with the VA. I'm really happy at the level she's at, and I'm sort of excited to see how things will progress forward too. So yeah, I'm really happy with how things are, and there's nothing that will really change when I think about it. I think it's gone better than I anticipated, or could have expected, to be honest. And I'm just thinking, if I knew now what I knew then, would I have done it sooner? Potentially, like potentially.
Hey, and that's it. I always say to people, don't look back and go, oh my god, I wish I'd done this sooner. Be like, okay, what have I learned? And sometimes it's about we need to take that leap sooner rather than later.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point. Sometimes I'm quite cautious, so I can stay safe for too long, which is something I think in business you need to know you need to know your strengths and weaknesses. So I do know my weaknesses, one being that I am a bit cautious. So yeah, definitely, maybe just if I have the inclination to do something, just do it straight away instead of waiting.
Yeah, agreed. Well, Emma, thank you. Honestly, thank you so much. Talking about that has been really good. What I just want to say is, anyone's got any questions, be sure to drop it down in the comments below. What we're going to do is, if you don't know, obviously this is January for us, and one part of what I'm trying to do in Fast Track FBA is, I'll be really honest, we do run the Fast Track FBA VA Academy. In January, we're doing a really big promotion on, helping you, support you in your businesses and growing VA. So what I want to just quickly do is just quickly tell you about the offer we've got for January. I'm not going to sit here forever and like hard sell it to you, but I'll just talk to you about what the offer is, what we're offering. And this is exactly the same offer that Emma went through and what she's doing. And then we'll jump into the Q&A afterwards and ask questions. So I know there's quite a few questions already popped in. We'll pop them up and have that answer. So first things first, before we kind of move on, Emma, thank you so much for sharing that information, that journey and opening up. I appreciate normally it's on the camera. This is one of the few lives that you've done. So honestly, thank you so much. Hopefully it hasn't been too nerve-wracking.
No, to be fair, I've actually really enjoyed it, and I think I'll probably be doing more lives now. So anyone who wants me, reach out. I'm there.
I love it. Honestly, thank you so much. So what I'm going to just quickly do now is I'll just put us to the side, and if I kind of just put on here. So, I'm really good at this. So quite simply, we've got an offer right now in the VA Academy. Now, people are asking the question is like, how much is the VA Academy? Well, normally for the VA Academy, we charge £497. So quite simply, that is the offer which Emma went through, and that is what we charge for the Academy. But at the moment as well, we've also got a couple of extra things in it that we're adding in the January special. So I've got them displayed up here. We've got the online training course. Now, in the VA Academy, your VA who goes through it, they will have a training course, an online training course that they go through. We're also giving this to you as the client. So you get access to your own version of the training, the online training course that all the VAs go through. Number two, we've also got something called the MBA workbook. Now, this is a live document that we're updating with our client, with all the information we're learning about our clients. And this is literally, we're putting everything we've got into that live document that is quite simply, you can access that, and we're doing all the standard operating procedures, all the information about what we're learning, everything about onboarding, hiring, even if it's termination, even if it's like incentive schemes, targets and bonuses, how to do that. It's all in that MBA workbook. Now, the one thing which I'll say is if you want to buy any of these, you can go on the website individually and see the prices I've quoted here. So the online VA Academy, $497, that is the price. The online VA training course is $247 on its own. The MBA workbook is $497 on its own. We're also giving away 3 months worth of Fast Track FBA leads, because we appreciate sometimes it takes time to get your VAs up to standard. So quite simply, we're giving away 3 months worth of leads, so you can come in, buy some leads from us, save you time having to source. Emma talked about that, and then also as well, Emma talked about this as well. It's about learning, asking questions, and supporting. So quite simply, I have clients who ask me to get them from 0 VAs up to 5. And then pretty much going down to like 4 hours a week. And when I do that on a one-to-one basis, I do a coaching call. My coaching call rates are £220 per hour. And I know it sounds like a lot. I really value my time, but quite simply, what I'm going to do, or what we have already started, is a 12-week private Facebook group where you're going to have me live every week, but also as well answering your questions. So if you were to pay for that on a one-to-one basis, which we've done in the past, would cost you £2,640. Don't worry, all of this we are putting together into one simple package, which is exactly the same price as the VA Academy, £497. But what I will say is it is for only the first 50 customers. So if you are interested, this is something you want to take advantage of, January, grow your business, have a look at fasttrackfba.com/VA. And then obviously you can sign up for that. And it says the whole offer on there, everything we've got. But quite simply, there's a lot on there. This isn't, it's a really, really good offer. And I say it again, I said it to Emma, and I said it to you guys, quite simply, what's the incentive for us? What we want from this is we want you to have a great experience. Hopefully you've seen it today, Emma's had a great experience. Number two, we want you to grow your business. Why? Because if you grow your business, you're going to come back and have another VA and you're going to use us. So it's in our interest to help you grow your business. And we want to see this VA adding value, getting results. What does that mean? That means finding deals, making profit for your business. And we want to be there to support you growing that, so you come back and work with us. And obviously your business is going to grow as well. So if you're interested, fasttrackfba.com/VA. That is going to help you. But like I said, I'm not going to sit here forever and go through an offer and try and do a massive upsell. Let's go back through to some questions with me and Emma. Cool. Okay, so if I just I've got a couple of questions. I'll kind of start off at the top and work my way down. Okay, so we've got Okay, here we go. So here we go. I'm really bad with names. Erkan, is that right?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Erkan, fantastic. Sorry, I'm English, but my ability to pronounce names is really, really shocking. I do apologize. So, how much would you expect to pay your monthly VA, and how many leads would you get from time today? So, if I answer the pay. Now, with the VA Academy, you set the rate of pay. So we basically do like $2.50, $3, $3.50, and you can go higher if you want. We recommend $3 per hour. It's about £380 per month. And we have an increasing scale of number of deals per day. So like in the first month, we're talking like 2 to 5, then 5 to 8, and then 8 to 12 in the third month. And I think, hey, Emma, this is a great question for you. And one thing I will say is it is very dependent on your metrics. Like if you want profit of £10 per month, then obviously that's going to be a lot less deals, or £10 per deal. Emma, if you're asking your VA, how many deals are you finding? What's it been like?
I'd say it's varying. If I say, for example, last night deals, I think she returned around 10. The day before, I think it was like 7. And so she's averaging, I'd say, around 8 to 9 per day. And that's just like online arbitrage. And, sometimes you might feel like she's found less. But for me, it's okay because of the quality of the deal. So, I'd say averaging 8, 9-ish, but the quality of the leads are what I'm more focused on rather than the quantity in a way. Like how many units of that particular deal can I purchase? Because if I can purchase, 50 and keep on selling it, it's ultimately quality over quantity. Well, that's sort of how my business is set up, yeah.
Hey, I really agree. And it's really refreshing to hear that, because so many people are like, my VA is not giving me enough deals. And I'm like, my God, if they gave you 20 deals tomorrow that you could only buy one of, would that be a good day? Because to the VA it is 20 deals. To you as a business owner, 20 products is not worth it at all. So really nice to hear about. And hey, you've had the VA, what, 1 month? Is that right?
Yeah, so it's about a month.
Wow. She's on fire. Now, the one thing which I will just say is that's not normal. We do say, but in the first month, you're looking 3 to 5, around that figure. And if I kind of just give you a bit of a background, the biggest impact, or the biggest thing which is going to impact your ability to get deals and the speed at which they increase the number of deals, is quite simply how much quality time you spend with them, supporting them and analyzing. And Emma, you said it. Emails to start with, stupid video.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, I'm seeing it as like a nurturing process. So I have spent that time emailing and now video calls, and I can see the improvements and changes as we go along, and why she's chose certain deals because of the feedback I've given her. So I'd say, you need to give your VA feedback. You can't just expect them to, and ultimately, the more you know, the more you can give them to get them to where you want them to be. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, really good advice there. So thank you so much. Okay, cool. What have we got here? I'm just kind of going to go through. We've got a couple of other questions. If I just shove this one in here, where did I escape to? If you want to know, I'm currently in Mexico, Cancun. So I won't go on to that, but that's the answer to that one.
I'm jealous.
Hey, honestly, I had a friend who was on the way to Gran Canaria. He's in the airport, about to board the plane, and they kicked him off. I was like, oh man, honestly. Question for you, Emma, I think is a really bad one, and I'd just say, be honest. Is it worth the price? Is it worth it for Fast Track FBA Academy?
Yeah, definitely. I think from the top of my head, I think it was like 497. And for me, there's no questions asked. I think for the service you're providing, maybe it's too cheap. I don't know. Like, I think for the value you're getting, I think the value outweighs the price if you're at the level of your business where you need a VA. Because obviously, having a VA, you need to buy the deals in order for it to make it cost effective. So if you're at that stage now where you've got the capital to buy the deals that the VA is sourcing, then by all means, without a shadow of a doubt, it's going to be worth it for your business.
Yeah, I really agree. And I think just if I give you a really rough guide, it's not perfect. If I were to say, you probably want about £4,000 cash available to invest in deals to VA. So this isn't like, oh, I'm spending £4,000 of my own money and that's constantly churning. It's like, I've got spare cash available. You can do it for less. It depends on your ROI and what's going on. But quite simply, if you've just started today and you've got £500 in your bank account, do not go buy a VA. That's not going to be worth it. But hey, thank you for your honesty there, and I appreciate that. Here's a good one. Did the academy change your mindset? I don't really understand what that means, but I'll let you interpret.
I'd say in terms of changing my mindset, it's sort of like opened up the possibilities. And as I previously touched on before, like the service that I received was impeccable. And so in a way, I'd say that it's increased my own aspirations. Any services that I want to run to that level, where, it's impeccable. And in terms of the mindset, I'm not sure. I can't really say changed my mindset, but it's definitely made me view my business differently and expand the capabilities that are now available as I've got a new, essentially got a new employee on board. So it's changed the way that I think as a business owner now, in terms of, like the VA sort of relies on me, and in that sense, she'll be as good as I am. So I need to be my best in order to get the best from my team. That's ultimately how I see it. And so it's raised my level in terms of the standard that I want for myself, and then to embed that in the team as well.
Yeah, and do you know what the really interesting thing as well is, you kind of mentioned it, is, well, a lot of people talk to me like, oh, people in the Philippines, are they not just like rubbish and they can't really do anything and you have to tell them exactly what to do, and when you don't tell them, they just don't bother and they're really lazy. And what's really nice is, and I'm not trying to like big up us, is the fact that you've seen an experience through our service whereby I had pretty much no involvement. We set it up, we run it, we create the service standards, and the team can get on with it, and hopefully a lot of people will see a great experience. And it's like, actually, people in the Philippines are really good. They give great customer service, friendly, very easy to communicate with, and very professional. And I think you see that in your own VA as well.
Definitely. And I will say the work ethic is also like on another level. It seems like they're keen to firstly please, so they want to like please you and do what is best. And secondly, I don't know if it's for all VAs, but my VA, she's from like a retail background. So I think she has the work ethic of like, because when I used to work in retail back when I was in like university and stuff, they'd want you to come in like a bit earlier and like maybe leave a bit later to make an impression. And that's how my VA performs. And now I can sort of see why they want you to do that. Because I'm like, wow, she's like logged in a bit earlier and staying later. And I'm like, that makes me view her like she doesn't have to, like I've said to her, you don't have to. I think it's something that's embedding her from a previous experience. So I'd say like top notch in terms of work ethic, and also wanting the business to grow, because ultimately it helps them and it helps me. So it's a win-win.
Yeah, fantastic. Hey, I really agree. And I worked hospitality, not retail, but hospitality. And that is like, get in, work really hard and go. But hey, I would also just flick it on the other side, is to say, I do it with my team, is like, whenever you see those behaviors, i.e. they come in early, they go in the evening, and I think you're doing it, but I'll just reiterate it for anyone, is highlight them. Highlight what you like, and then really make a point of saying, by the way, you don't have to do this, but I just want to say thank you. I really want to say thank you because I recognize what you're doing and I'm really grateful for it. So I think that's a really good point. And that's about us as business owners looking at very good behaviors in our business and promoting them and highlighting and saying that is the kind of things that we want. We like that behavior, so keep it up.
And I think you made a good point, because I have said to her she doesn't need to, but I'm not actually thinking about it now, like thanked her and said how much I do appreciate it, because it's obviously taken like a few minutes a day from her life, essentially, which adds up over the year. So after this call, I definitely like drop her a message and say like, thank you, I appreciate it. And obviously reiterate, you don't have to, but I think it's something that she enjoys doing herself. So yeah.
Hey, I really agree. And hey, oh my God, I sit there so many times. I'm like, it's so easy to jump on the negatives, but if we, I have to, because it's just human nature, I have to stop and say, okay, what do I really like? What do I like? Yeah. Well, I like that. Okay, well, I should talk about that, because if I only talk about the negatives and never talk about what I like, she'll only protect from the negatives and never do the positive action. So I have to. It's right. Hey, this is fun. I love this, and this, I love this is about building teams. I love building teams. So, quick question for you. I've got another one here. Alison just said, "I wouldn't know where to start, how to train them, etc." So, can I ask? Obviously, the VA didn't come to you and you said go, and then they delivered excellence. You had to do training. What was that training like?
I'd say so. For the training of the VA, I'd say, you know, there was pretty much up to scratch. I do offer training anyway to like people who want to sell on Amazon. So maybe I was doing it subconsciously. So I've just been providing feedback as normal, you know, when the deals come in, just tweaking things like where things could be better or change. So I'd say there wasn't much additional training needed. What is needed is to get them to understand your business and where you want your business to be, because everyone's business is different. So as long as they understand your goals and visions, the foundational training is sorted, so they know how to find the deals. And it's just giving them that confidence as well, because they've not done sourcing before. You're in a new role. So when I think back to whenever I had a new job, obviously feedback from the manager was important. It gave me that motivation and encouragement. And I think that's where I've sort of been placing my emphasis, is reassuring her the deals are good and the reasons why.
Yeah, honestly, really, really good. Oh my God, there's something you said there. I talk about this with people. It's in your business, the model which might work the most might be like, go to Argos, go to the clearance section and source that. That's what generally works. And I always say it to people, is like, find what works already in your business and then just teach that to VA. My God, because there's no point in you doing it. It's a process. Let them do that process. And that's it. So that, you know, the VA comes trained, they understand how to do the tools, keeper, do the analysis. But what they don't know is what works in your business to get results that you like consistently. That's the next layer you put on, but you don't have to worry about everything underneath, which is really good. Cool. Here's a question. I love this one. Can you trust a VA? Oh my God, they are on the other side of the world. They're going to run away and steal everything. Do you trust a VA?
I'd say I wholeheartedly trust my VA. She's entrusted confidence in me to trust her, and everyone's a bit different, but for me, you know, yeah, okay, I'm a Christian, so I think she's got the same values too. Like, she's praying for me and praying the business goes well and that sort of thing. So from that perspective, I fully trust my VA, and I don't think she's going to be like giving deals away or anything like that. So I'd say when I think I trust my VA, I particularly 100% do. And it comes down to the fact that we have been having video calls, and I sort of feel like I know it in a sense. Like, we talk about family and that sort of thing. So yeah, I'd say I've got trust in my VA 100%.
Yeah, fantastic. I really agree. And, you know, let me put it this way, regardless of whether the VA is in the Philippines or in the UK, it isn't about where they are or the culture or anything. It's about that relationship. It is. And, you know, you talked about it. I know my VA, I get to know them. I talk about family. We have a mutual, mutual things in common, and that allows you to trust them. And, you know, admittedly, you've only known her for a month. You know, you trust them as much as you can. But I always say, I trust you until you prove me otherwise.
Yeah.
And I think genuinely, you know, my God, like, my VAs, I've got one purchasing manager, but I've got 3 of my VAs have got my credit cards. And I'm literally like, sometimes like, can I have my credit card numbers because I've forgotten them, please? And it's just like, and do you know what's really, the worst thing is the fact that, like, one time we went and brought noise cancelling headphones for the entire team who do like client facing stuff. And I got my VA to pay for them to deliver them in the Philippines, each address. And the weird thing was that no security checks by the bank were done or anything. And I was like, what? UK-based card, they can buy, ship to the Philippines, in the Philippines, ship to the Philippines. And I was like, that's quite a risk, and nothing got flagged up. John?
But I think also you mentioned a good point with the credit card. Like, I think if anything does go AWOL with a credit card, you've got the protection too. So that, you know, adds further.
Yeah, and I don't think it works the other way.
Yeah, take that back.
If someone else, if I spent the money or I've given some of the card details, there's no protection there. But I think the question comes is, as you build that relationship, as you get to know them more, and over time they prove themselves. You know, myself and many other people who do have purchasing managers and they have credit card details, and I think, generally speaking, you know, yeah, I've had bad VAs. I've had VAs lie to me, but you know, whether it be a VA in the Philippines or someone in the UK, there are good and bad people. But hopefully, we've seen that your VA is a great person, and over time you'll build that relationship. And if you want to make them to a purchasing manager, fantastic, just like I've done. So fantastic. Okay, so quick question here. Tom called me AY. AY, thank you very much. Honestly, I really apologise for not pronouncing your name wrong, and I'm sure I did. So, is a sourcing VA suitable for a new seller? Emma, what are your thoughts?
I personally wouldn't say that a sourcing VA is suitable for a new seller for a few reasons. I think, one, you need to understand the business yourself. Two, you need the capital. I'm not saying that a new seller doesn't have the capital, but if you understand what you're doing first, and then when the time's right, get a VA on board, because you need to really utilize them in order to make it, one, cost effective, and two, a benefit to your business. So if you're just starting out, I don't know what you think, but I would say maybe look at sourcing services, like where the deals are delivered and you just analyze them and decide what's right, and then build your way up. Like I mentioned, it's been about 2 years that I've been sourcing personally before I took on a VA. Now, you don't have to wait that long, but I'd say do what's best for your business. As a new seller, I probably wouldn't recommend a VA to start with.
Yeah, I would really agree. I think the amount, you'd be amazed the amount of people who say, Tom, can I just pay you £10,000 and you'd hire a team of VAs and they make it work for me? I'm like, no, not in a million years. I'm not even interested. And it's because, my God, at the end of the day, it's about the person who's running it. They've got to know what they're doing. Why? Because things do go wrong with a VA. It's not a one size fits all, like the VA should be doing this, but they might go off at a tangent unless you know what they're doing, and you can kind of go, hey, that doesn't seem right. It's very dangerous. They can go really far, of course. So having some baseline experience, I'd probably say you want to get yourself, I don't know, probably at least to 4 or 5K a month just in revenue before you start thinking about getting onto the VA. I think that's probably a good place, because it just kind of gives you, right, I've got an idea of where I need to be. And also as well, it's like profits. You've got to see that whole purchase, sale, and the whole process to understand how my business operates. So there will be exceptions, but I really agree. I think have some experience. We've got one here. How much is a sourcing VA per month? Quite simply, $3 an hour, £380 per month, roughly, conversion rate. Another one here, I'll just kind of answer, I'll bang through these because we could be here forever. Do you employ the VA or are they self-employed? So technically with this one, under EU law, because they live outside of the EU, they are not employed by the company under EU law. Now, we treat them as employees. We really encourage that. Treat them as an employee, call them an employee, call them everything. But under European law, you don't pay payroll, you don't do payroll for them, you don't pay taxes on them, you don't do pension schemes for them. They are classed as a subcontractor. That's it. But what I would really recommend doing is make them, do everything else that you can, treat them like an employee. Why? Because you want them to be an employee. You want them to feel valued within the company. And if you treat them like you're a freelancer, that's how they'll treat the relationship. And like Emma said, it's about building that relationship. Emma, any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'd say basically, I think what sort of way, what I sort of thought about when I read that is that when I employed the VA through yourselves, they are sort of working for themselves, yes, but we got a contract, which I thought was really good and a nice touch, which details, when their holidays are, when you need to pay them, what's expected from them. So having a contract in place makes it clear to both parties what is needed. So they know what's required and I know what's required from me.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, I really agree. And the thing which I'll say is we create a contract. While it has no technically legal binding basis, it does set the tone. It sets the tone of the relationship in the fact that, hey, this is a serious job. We want you to treat it seriously. We're going to abide by these rules, and we expect you, the VA, to abide by these rules. So that's why we create it. And it helps. Where if you don't have contracts, it's a bit more like, yeah, whatever, we'll just kind of do what we feel like. So quite simply here, I'll just go through. So Simon signed up with the service, very impressive service, signed up Monday night, VA has been employed, started training, we had our first call with each other today. Every step is documented and helped through by Anna in the Fast Track FBA VA Academy. Fantastic. Yeah, honestly, really nice. So thank you so much for that. What would you say is the average monthly investment needed in order to get a VA on board? Emma, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think it really varies. I'd say at the moment, like I mentioned, I'm getting my virtual assistant to buy deals, and I'm going to start with about $750 a week for her. So she uses that to buy the deals first, and I'll be buying some. But I think that's how I'm doing it going forward, giving her a set budget that I wanted to spend per week and see what comes of it.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's really good. Allocating an amount of cash that you want them to spend, and we come back to the whole idea of that. I don't really care about deals. I care about how much money I can spend in your deals. That's the thing. It's not number of deals; it's cash spend. That's the important one. So really, no, I'd agree.
And I think probably as my confidence improves with the deals that I purchase, then that can increase as well. So for me, having just a set amount to give her to play with first, and then see how confident I feel in the results that are being delivered.
Cool, fantastic. Got one here. Is there a way to monetize your purchasing manager? It's a big move to give someone your card to buy things. If I kind of just jump in on this one, there is a whole process to go through it. To do it in a very step-by-step logical manner, which gives the purchasing manager the control, but also as well is very gradual and very clearly defined what they need to do at what point, and the controls in place, and also the consequences if they don't follow them to the letter. Like to give an example, in my business, if my purchasing manager doesn't clearly state what's being purchased every day, that's classed as gross misconduct. So that is we will fire you if you do not clearly state every purchase you've made. Why? Because quite simply, I cannot afford to have my purchasing manager getting sloppy with what the cash going out of the business, because there's so much risk involved. My purchasing manager is spending £10,000 a week. That's a lot of cash, and when it starts getting sloppy, it's just not justifiable. So yeah, really do think there. If I kind of move on, appreciate time. We've been in about an hour now, so I don't want to keep any more of your time, Emma. Sorry. Emma, are you still purchasing deal service as well? Now you have your own VA. What's the situation with you?
I say the situation is at the moment that I'm sort of working on like the replen, just keeping those topped up. She's finding the new deals. I will say that I actually did purchase some deals yesterday from a survey just because I wanted to test it. Really, there was no need to. I just wanted to test it. And another thing that I might get my VA to do as well is after she's gone through her initial process, is get her to buy some deals from deal services as well. So I'm going to be using like a whole mixture of things. So I would definitely still use deal sheets and deal services 100%.
Yeah, hey, I just put out there, at the end of the day, if something works for you, why would you stop it? Like, my God, I know so many clients of ours who've got a VA who spend 2 hours a day analyzing deal service deals. That's their job, or like 30 minutes a day doing that. The thing about a VA is it isn't just I find deals. No, it can be I go look at the deals from a deal service. It can be that I source the deals from a replenishables list. It can be that I look at certain suppliers for old stock that we want to get back in again, maybe wholesalers. A VA is a Swiss Army knife. They can do many things, and don't limit them to one. Yes, get them good at the one thing to start with, but after that you can expand them. And I think definitely looking at other bits, whether it be using a deal service, fantastic. And hey, test it. My God, if it's a really good deal service, use it. I'm just going to kind of go down. Okay, here's a good question. I like this one. Hey guys, thanks for the live. How do you monitor your VA's time and make sure they are working and not charging for that time? Any software? What are your thoughts, Emma?
So basically, you can get software. So, for example, my deal analysis software, I think it is, where you check your profit and loss, it has a feature embedded in it where they can clock in daily. It takes screenshots and clocks the time, so you can monitor that way. If you trust in them, then I guess you can just have them work and clock out. So I'd say, yeah. What would you recommend?
Okay, here's my thoughts. And the way we run it in my business, I don't care about the time you work. If you work 7 hours a day, I really don't care. If you're delivering the results, I want the results. If you are making me loads of money and I'm really happy and you're making bonus, fantastic. So quite simply, if you are achieving the results, we don't track time, we don't do anything. When you're underperforming, i.e. there's a problem with your results, then we have a certain procedure that we go through, and then we'll start tracking time. But generally speaking, I trust my team, and I said it at the beginning, I trust my team until they prove me otherwise. And I think the question comes is, people can clock in and clock out and still do another job with someone else. If you're worried about the hours they're working, there's ways around that if you're a VA, but regardless of that, it's about your relationship. It's about them valuing the job, valuing that relationship with you, and valuing, I really love working for this person. So I think the big question for everyone, or I would always say, is don't track time. It's not a good thing to focus on. And also as well, the other question I'd ask is, if you do track the time and do screenshots and everything, are you really going to look at them? Because if you're not looking at them, why are you doing it? It's more administration. So that's my thoughts. At the end of the day, if you're delivering results, do not worry. Quick question, just one here. How long have you been doing FBA or Amazon?
So I think like about 2 years or so, or just over. You can check my YouTube channel because I did like my first video on there when I sent in my first ever shipment. It seems ages ago. Yeah.
I love it. Hey, and honestly, I love your YouTube channel. Thank you so much. And for me, if you want to, I think it's about 4 years. Don't quote me. 4 years. It's been a long time. And hey, it's a fun, stressful, lot of hard work journey. Would you agree, Emma?
Yes, it's definitely fun. Like when I first started, I was like so excited about it. And then as you progress further and you get deeper into it, then you have to like take it a bit more seriously. But I definitely like love doing it, and it is fun running your own business. If you want to run your own business, then FBA is the way forward, or one of the ways. Yeah. Yeah,
there's loads of ways, and I think definitely. Question for you: if I join the course, and just put out there, it's not a course. This is we're basically, think of us as a recruitment provider. We advertise, hire, train, and support you with a member of staff who works in your business. That's it. It's not like we do provide like course content, but that's part of the package. That isn't the main thing. It's about that physical VA working in your business. So question for you, Emma, do they need any additional software? Did you need to buy any more software?
I'd say we didn't need to buy any additional software because the software we have. So I can see Erkin said, does your VA use any software? So yeah, my VA uses Buyback Pro, and I didn't have to get any additional software because they've got licenses. I think it's up to 5, so nothing there. We also use Keeper, and I have an existing subscription, so no additional needed was there. And we also use another software which escapes my mind. It's a free one. And she's also using that. So I didn't have to take on any extra software in order to utilize the virtual assistant. No.
Cool. And quick question, I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Did you have to train them how to use Buybot Pro and Keeper, or what was the situation?
To be fair, the academy taught them how to use that. So I didn't really have to give them any training. She's maybe asked some questions, like especially around VAT and how that works. So there's like a VAT override, so I've had to sort of explain how that works. So I'd say that's the only part that I've had to sort of train on in terms of how to use the software effectively.
Cool, fantastic. Yeah, I just add in there, we pretty much train as much as we can, but you've got to realize we've only got the VA for 7 days, and there's only so much you can train. So never expect the VA to come out and be an expert at everything, like same level of knowledge as Emma on Keeper, for example, and Bybot Pro. That it's just not going to happen, but they know a good baseline, and then from there you can add on. So definitely, you don't need to buy any more software. They use tools you've already got for sourcing. Generally speaking, it's going to be like a sourcing calculator tool, and if you've got Keeper, we really recommend it, but you can do it just off your sourcing tools. That works. So that's really, really helpful. And I think that is pretty much it. I'd probably just ask Emma, any kind of other questions? I've kind of skipped some because I appreciate time. I don't want to be here forever. I do just want to put this one in, which is Emma, you are my role model. You're doing great. Well done. And honestly, Emma, thank you so much for coming onto this live, talking, sharing your journey, sharing about that experience, and hey, being honest. I appreciate it can be nerve-wracking on a live. So, honestly, from me to you, thank you. Honestly, really, really thank you. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, so thanks for having me. Also, I can see like all the nice comments in there as well. So thanks so much. That does mean the world. And it's been amazing doing this live. I really enjoyed it.
Fantastic. Honestly, thank you. So what I am going to say is, honestly, to everyone watching this, and I've kind of wrapped it up quite quickly, is just because of time, you know, appreciate we could be here for like 2 hours talking, but both Emma and I have got lives to get on with, and so have you guys. My God, you don't want to be here forever. Obviously, if you are looking for a VA, obviously you can use the Fast Track FBA VA Academy. Again, I'll just drop that here, you know, fasttrackfba.com/VA. That, you know, we're doing the offer now, $497. That's the normal offer, by the way. You know, that's the normal price. This isn't like some kind of increased price or decreased price. That's a normal price, but we added a lot more to it because we just want to make January a great month, and it's about supporting you. And hopefully you've seen that, you know, this throughout this webinar, we've shared that with you. It is about supporting. So if you are interested, have a look. It is limited to the first 50. And the one thing which I'll say is it does take us 3 weeks to hire a VA. It does take a little while, and we can do a maximum of 10 VAs per week. So we've already got like the first week full, so it could be a bit of a delay before we can start working on your VA if you are interested. But do have a look at that, obviously, if that's going to be the right stage. If not, obviously, feel free to get in contact with me or Emma, and, you know, I'm sure we can kind of answer any questions or anything. Probably me, because Emma's got a busy life. She's scaling her business. But what I will say is, you know, Emma, again, just thank you so much for coming on and sharing. And, you know, my God, like, I've not seen you on YouTube for quite some time. Can you give us an update? Are there any plans? What's the situation going forward?
Yeah, so in terms of YouTube, I'm planning to start doing regular videos again. As I mentioned, the last part of last year was sort of focusing on getting systems in place so the Amazon business can run without me instead of me trying to do everything. And I'm really pleased with how that's been. So now it's time for me to come back on YouTube, and I'm really excited to do it. Lots of people have been asking me like where I am I coming back. So I really appreciate people are wondering where I am, and I'll be back pretty soon.
Fantastic. Hey, and I really look forward to that. And I really hope one day I can, you know, COVID calms down, I'll fly back to the UK, do a road trip and come meet you again. And hey, maybe get like a part 2, how's the VA, how's the business, see what's going on. And hopefully it won't be snowing. That would be a good thing. Brilliant. So can I just say, everyone who's joined us on this live, thank you so much. It's been a real pleasure. Really grateful for you to spend your time with us, really. You know, I really love that. You know, you're busy people, you've got businesses running, you've got lives to live, but you've decided to spend it with us. Hopefully we've added some value to your business, and whether you're thinking about hiring a VA now or maybe in the future, this is kind of give you some thoughts, answers, some questions that are really going to help you. But also as well, from everyone who is watching, to Emma, thank you so much for spending your time and obviously getting here safely in the snow and the ice. It's a real pleasure to have you on board, and obviously to see you live. So honestly, thank you so much, and for sharing your knowledge. That's really useful.
Yeah, it's been awesome. So thanks a lot. It's been great. Thanks to everyone who stayed and commented and asked questions. And it's been really good just sharing, you know, how the journey's been with the VA, and also doing it live and pushing me out of my comfort zone. So thank you.
Hey, well done, well done. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you all. Thank you so much, everyone. Obviously, have a great day. Stay safe. And obviously, I look forward to hearing many stories, whether it be in my group or in Emma's group or on either our YouTube channels or just on your Facebooks, about you growing, scaling your Amazon business in 2021. Whether it be with the VA or not, it really doesn't matter. Just obviously get out there. As Emma said, push your comfort zones, grow that business to somewhere new. Make this the best year you've ever had. But yeah, from us, thank you very much.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.